What is up, visionaries? Welcome back to the Vista channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you guys are well. It's been a while. It's been a minute. I hope you guys have kept well and are pursuing the things that you really enjoy and taking time with your family and your loved ones at this point. Today we've got a really interesting topic that we're going to be discussing. Considering our current global economic situation, as well as here in South Africa, I thought a really interesting idea to discuss and something that maybe lots of individuals would find valuable is, as an entrepreneur, as someone who wants to start a company, start a business, when you have that idea of your startup, how do you validate it? How do you kind of find out whether or not this is actually going to be a good idea, or it's just something that I should, maybe do in my spare time? Perhaps you ask a family member or a friend, a colleague, if you work somewhere. That's kind of the extent of it, and then you kind of justify it to yourself. But what I wanted to do was give you guys a way to securely cement your idea, to ensure that you know that it will really be profitable and it will really be something that's worth going into. But without further ado, let's roll the intro. Welcome to all our new viewers. Thanks for joining us. If you're a returning subscriber, it's good to see you again. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It goes a long way. Really appreciate all the support that we get. So the first thing you want to do when you have this idea of the startup that you want to do is you want to solve a problem. Ultimately, that's all that business is, and as we've mentioned before in previous videos, entrepreneurs are individuals who can see problems as opportunities. So what you want to do is you want to be able to identify your problem. The problem is that many inverse this rule in that they are a solution that then look for a problem. Now, technically, there's nothing wrong with that. The thing is that it's not long term. If you do it the correct way, the long term can really be sustainable for your business. So what we'll do today is we'll look at how to identify a problem, as well as how to identify a way to make sure that your business is as appealing as possible to investors, to customers, and to those who want to buy in. So first off, when you're looking at a problem, what you want to do is to make sure that that problem is popular. It's something that many people face, something that many people struggle with, something that many people find annoying. The second thing you want to find is a problem that's growing, something that is getting worse and worse or getting more and more difficult to overcome or to solve in life. And that is a problem that is worth assessing and worth looking into. Once you've seen whether or not it is a popular problem and whether it's a growing problem, you then want to assess whether or not it's an urgent problem and whether or not it's something that people frequently experience. So is it something that really needs solving as soon as possible, something that people would find value in being solved today? And is it something that people experience on the daily basis, or is it maybe something they only experience once a year or once every few months? Because what you want is something that is urgent, something that you can solve immediately and can make returns on as soon as possible. So these are the 4 things you want to look at when you're looking at a problem. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you want to identify the problem first, then move on to providing a solution. Our second part is how you, as the business owner, can provide value and how you can assess whether or not it's worth it for you to go in. So what you need to look at is whether or not you have very specific knowledge, whether your knowledge can solve a problem that very few people can solve. Ultimately, this is not the most important. It is something that very few people actually do have. Perhaps if you studied a certain avenue of biomechanical engineering and you can solve this one specific problem, and you can create a business that can solve it, that's great. For many of us, however, this is not the case. Our skill sets are shared by many other people around the world. Perhaps you're a graphic designer, an artist, a photographer, anything in the creative space or even in the business space. Perhaps you're a marketer or a manager. These are skills that other individuals have on a large scale. Many people even write books about these things. They solve these problems continuously. So what you want to do is you want to try and be someone who has extremely specific knowledge to solve a problem that is, as we mentioned before, urgent, growing, popular, and quite frequent. So you want to be a founder. You want to be someone who can be relied upon when investors look at your business and they see, this person, someone like a Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. These individuals are founders, not just CEOs or just startups. Next thing you want to look at is whether or not the market that you want to go into is growing at an exponential rate. At least 20% per year, this market is kind of increasing and growing in terms of money being spent or money being put into it, or perhaps more and more people being affected by this problem. The next thing you want to do is make sure that your product or your service is an order of magnitude better than your competition's. This isn't always the case though. Being 10x better than another graphic designer is not something that is very easily observed or measured. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that your service or your product is 10x easier to obtain, 10x easier to work with, 10x more improved on quality. You want to make sure that you are trying your very best to always consistently improve the quality of your service or product. And this kind of lines up with the lean startup idea, in that you want to make sure that your weakest links are always improved upon and consistently diversified. And the final thing you want to look at is whether or not this market or this industry or this problem that you want to solve has a monopoly established. For example, if you look at the car hailing or ride hailing services like Uber, Lyft, Taxify, all of these things, these companies emerged seemingly overnight. But the thing is now that there is a complete influx of drivers and services for people to choose from. There is no way for someone to establish a monopoly. Perhaps if you want to do helicopter rides for businesses between cities, that then, perhaps you could take the monopoly on that. But the problem is that there is a lot of competition. So what you want to look for is an industry or a problem that has very few people that you can very easily, or at least with the best of your ability, move in and establish a monopoly for yourself. That way, you will have consistent returns throughout the period of your business, because you know that you are the one who creates the competition, not the one who is reacting to the competition that is already established. So those are the tips, guys. I hope that you have learned something, at least from this. If you have a startup idea, if you're perhaps wanting to, create a business or a service at some point in the next few months, drop a comment. We'd love to see and hear from all of you. And if you haven't yet watched our previous video on how to take your skills and create them into something that can make you money, take a look over here. We've got that video linked. Please give it a watch. It's really worth your while. Hopefully it'll help you in your decision, in coming to the decision on what you want to do with your business or with your skills. So that's it for us today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. As I said before, all your support is really appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up and even drop a subscribe for us so that you can stay tuned. We post a lot of videos based around entrepreneurship, business management, business growth, as well as self-improvement and creative skills, things like color grading, filming, photography. These are things that we want to explore in the next few weeks, in the next coming weeks. So stay tuned and tell your friends, tell your family. Please, we'd love to continue growing our network. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day further. And remember to stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay creative. I'll catch you visionaries next time.